promise.
Hi, and welcome back to the My Endless Wisdom podcast. We're here, episode 6. Can you believe it? I can't. As always, I'm so grateful to fucking be here. And I have some interesting things to touch on today. I've had a bit of a stressful, anxious week. Not in like a bad way, just like a lot of new stuff or new discoveries, new opportunities, new things that I'm doing. And it's just taking a toll on me mentally. Not in a bad way. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. So, as always, if you are an audio listener on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and you prefer a visual, then come on over to YouTube. We're hanging out over here. We have a video. So I want this podcast today to just be obviously a calm, chill vibe as always. But like I want to share some knowledge on some tips on how to let go, how to be free from your own doubts and thoughts, and how to just be yourself and be at peace with who you are. Obviously, it's one of those things that isn't as straightforward as it sounds, and we all wish it could be as easy as just flipping a switch and turning it off, but it's a lot of time and practice and patience and putting in the energy to be able to teach yourself certain things, and teach yourself a different mindset, teach yourself different tools in how to handle different situations when they come up. And this all comes with growing up and just living. Like I've always said, I'm no fucking doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not trained in any, you know what I mean, I just know this stuff from living and soaking up all of this information that I have learned over the years, But yeah, life is one of those things, it's gonna like constantly try and kick you on your ass, and there's always gonna be like beautiful moments and things to be grateful for. But I think for me, just remembering like when I'm really stressed and overwhelmed and anxious, just remembering if you're lucky, you get about 80 years on planet Earth, right? If you're super duper lucky, you live longer than that, and sometimes if you're unlucky, it falls short. And I think it's just about remembering that life actually isn't that serious. And I know that we have been put into this society and thrown into this rat race, and trust me, I know that, I've been there. I know what it's like. I'm in that situation right now where I'm like, I know what I want from this life, I know what I want to be doing, and I'm actively putting in the energy for that. But it's like, it doesn't always work out that way. You have to go and do other stuff as well. You have to do stuff that sometimes you don't necessarily want to do to get to that goal and dream. But yeah, it's about just reminding yourself when you're stressed, reminding yourself that time goes so fast, and you never know when your number's up. You never know when your time's up. And I know that can sound morbid, but it's not really, because it's true. We're not gonna be here forever. We don't get the chance at this life ever again. You get one shot at being you. You get one shot at making something happen from your life and just living a beautiful life, And I don't know, it brings peace to me. It brings peace to my heart and soul, because it's like, it kind of doesn't matter if I make mistakes and fall over and over and over again, because at the end of the day, I'm going to get back up. I have to get back up so I can live, But it's just a reminder that, at the end of the day, none of this matters, because it all goes away eventually, and you may as well just fucking slay the house down boots, You may as well just live a life full of adventure and love and excitement and creativity, because that's like what we're here for, right? I know that sometimes it feels like, what the fuck are we here for? What are we meant to be doing? Question that every fucking day. Am I meant to be doing more? Am I meant to be doing something different? But just do what feels good to you, what makes you happy, with peace, love, always. No bad shit happening over here, okay? Don't condone that, but just, yeah, and it's just one of those things, and as I always say, like, it's not a race, it's not a competition. Life is not a competition. You're not competing with the other people your age, you're not competing with your friends and your family, it's just, you're not competing with them, and comparison will kill the artist. Comparison will hurt you more than you think it does. But if you are always constantly going, oh, this person's done way more than what I have at this point in my life, this person's like way ahead of me, you're just stunting yourself, you're just hurting yourself. It's not going to benefit you in any way to compare yourself, because No one is you. No one is you. You're one singular person. You are one singular identity, one singular soul, and every single person on this planet is a different person. And I know that we get thrown into this, this society and this structure. They're trying to like spit out humans that are all the exact same. They want us all to be a part of something. I don't fucking know what, and I don't want to be a part of that. But you know what I mean? They throw us into school. They throw us into this rat race and this life, and try and mold us into all being one part of a machine, which is capitalism. I just got really deep into politics then. Anyway, we'll just ignore that for a second. But you don't have to conform to that. You don't have to be that. And I think it's just reminding yourself that like, that is there in the back of your mind and that is a part of our lives, but it's like just remembering that like the present moment, you right now where you are, like take a deep breath, relax. You are here, you are living, and you have so many opportunities, and the opportunities that your friend has are obviously going to be different to the opportunities that you have because you're different people. You're probably wanting different things from life. You're going down different paths. And even if you are like in, a career or something with other people, because careers can be definitely very competitive too. Everyone's trying to, be better and be the best at everything. Just relax, you do you, and it'll all work out, because it's like, try your fucking hardest at something and you work hard for something, it's going to work out for you. You know what I mean? It just is. Because the more that you practice something, you get better at it, and you learn different techniques to how to be better at it and how to be a better person. And that's just the motto for life too. The more that you go through life, there's a fucking bug flying around, just ignore that. The more that you go through life, the more that you're gonna learn. Just take a second to remember who you are and what you're here for and what you're doing, because that's kind of a reminder for myself, really, because sometimes I definitely get caught up in my own thoughts. I sometimes get in my own way, I guess. I like procrastinate a lot, and I just kind of like, you know what I mean? I think for me is I have this idea of what my life should look like and what my life actually looks like. The pictures are very different, and not that that's a bad thing, and I'm trying to remind myself that isn't a bad thing, because I'm 20 years old. I think it's good that I even have that other picture in my head. It's good that I have an idea of like what all of this hard work that I'm putting in is actually for. I think it's a good thing to have, because actually, I was listening to the Josh Trish podcast yesterday, and her husband Moses actually said something very fucking wise. Obviously, his name's Moses, so he's just naturally wise, just works out like that. But she was talking about how, because she's very into manifestation, right? She's very into manifestation and angel numbers, and she manifests a lot of stuff. And she says she's been manifesting like a lot of money because she wants to buy like a big house, she wants to buy a new car, and she wants all this stuff, right? And Trish asked Moses what he was manifesting, and he said that he was manifesting for her to have a talk show. Her dream is to have a talk show, right? And she was like, that's so nice that you're manifesting that, but that's my dream, not your dream. Why are you manifesting that? And this is so gorgeous, but he said, you're manifesting the stuff that you're going to get. I'm manifesting how we're going to get that. I'm manifesting the thing that's going to help us get that. And if you think about it for a second, I probably didn't explain it properly, but if you think about it for a second, I was like, that made me take a step back, and I was like, damn, he's onto something there. Because we all are like that. We all go, when I've done this, I'm going to do this. When I've done this, I'm going to get this, like when I have lots of money, I'm going to buy this, whatever. But he's onto something with manifesting the opportunity that's going to get you to those places. You know what I mean? Not just the things or the one-off moments, manifesting. And also in that same conversation, she was like, oh, I thought you would manifest like meeting Kate Bush or something. And he's like, again, that's a one fleeting moment chance. Obviously, I would love that, but we're going to manifest the thing that is going to get us all of those other moments. Does that make sense? So he's saying, I'm going to manifest that we're going to get a talk show and you're going to have like the number one talk show in the world. And then from that number one talk show, you are going to meet Kate Bush. You are going to buy that fancy fucking car that you want. You are going to buy that house. You know, I'm not saying that you have to do anything, but you know what I'm saying? So that made me like reprocess. Okay, yeah, it's about remembering that you have to, everything's a stepping stone, you know? Some people are luckier than others, you know? It's just how it goes. And that's what I'm saying. Fuck comparison, because some people are just luckier than others. Some people, it's just how it goes. It's just life. It's just the universe. And I don't fucking know why. But I trust it. I trust the universe somehow. I trust the powers. Somewhere, someone out there is planning something for me, because as I always say, when you make plans, the universe will laugh in your face. And it doesn't mean like don't plan, don't have goals, but it just means that what is meant for you is going, like, they're going to direct you there anyway. You know what I mean? So just, yeah. Because I've been really in the space of, so I've started a couple new jobs, like waitressing jobs, right? And one of them's in fast food. And honestly, it's like, it's okay. Like, it's not bad, but I think I've been so like brutal on myself about it, because obviously it's not where I think that I like want to be, you know what I mean? It's not in my chosen profession. It's not in any way, shape or form anywhere where I thought I was going to be at my age, you know? And it's not anywhere I want to be, you know, at all. But it's like, I think the universe is trying to teach me, one, patience, but also just, you have to start somewhere, you know? You have to start somewhere. So I'm going to do a little bit of what I did last week, because I really enjoyed it and I just think it's fun to do. I have this app. It's called Her Help. Again, not sponsored, but it's an app for women to go on and to ask questions about anything. It's a bit of a supportive community. It's got so many different things on it, like highly recommend. It's got so many different folders, well-being folders, and yeah, there's basically a big group chat. You can post on there anonymously questions, and other girls will help you out. They'll help you out. So I screenshotted some questions that I want to talk about today. So I'm going to read them and answer them on here. I am going to give you my very honest advice and opinions. So let's jump straight into it. So first one is, I finally blocked him from everywhere, but I still want to know what he's doing. I need to forget him. Real. Honestly, so fucking real. I don't know. I think it's very, very normal to miss someone, you know? It is such a normal human thing, and this is what I tell people all the time, and I remind myself all the time is, one, just because you miss someone doesn't mean that they're good for you. Obviously, someone exited your life, you removed someone from your life for a reason, and, you know, just because you miss them and you miss them so much and you think about them all the time, you're like, oh, you might convince yourself you still love them. Does not mean that you need to go back, but it's such a normal fucking thing to miss someone, because especially like romantic relationships, even friendships too, like you get very close to people, right? You get very, very close to these people and they become a huge part of your life, and then when they exit your life, you know, obviously you don't remember the bad things or even the reason why they left. You just remember all of the good stuff, and then you convince yourself that like, oh, like maybe I can just go back. But you know, sometimes it does happen. You know, sometimes people do come back together and become friends again after a hard friendship breakup or relationship breakup. You know, it does happen, and I don't know. You just have to let the universe decide that one, because, you know, you might come back together, you might just bump into each other, you know, your paths might cross again, and if it does, well, you can decide whether that's a good option. But most likely, I think just keep him blocked. Keep him blocked and everything. Don't talk to him again. Don't unblock him and see what he's doing, because you don't need to know. Fucking trust me on that so hard. So yeah, I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you for a second. So my last relationship that I had, it was very hard on me. It was very, very hard on me, like the breakup, because like I liked this person so fucking much. Like I liked them so much. It was just, you know what I mean? And then it ended like not even, it just ended so weirdly and abruptly. I don't really know, like, what happened. It was just sort of like, he left my house one day and I never fucking saw him again, and then we just broke up over text, and it was horrible, and it hurt me, like, to the core. Absolutely fucking destroyed me, because I liked this guy so much, right? But then I kind of, like, learned, I don't know, from things that he did after the breakup, like messaging me and shit that he'd message me, and shit that he'd say to me, and stuff like that. I realized that I don't think he ever really respected me. I don't think he ever really cared in the first place, and that's why he allowed our breakup to end like that, and our relationship to end like that. There was just no care factor. Like, he didn't really give a fuck about my feelings. But I kept hurting myself because he kept messaging me and contacting me after the relationship, and I just, like, fell for it every fucking time. I fell for it every time. I would think that, you know, maybe he had thought about it and wanted to try again or go back together, or at least apologize for what he did to hurt me so much, you know, because I felt as though I was, like, just fully blindsided and ghosted at the end of our relationship. You know what I mean? There was just, like, nothing. We just never spoke again, and that really, like, that, I think that caused some brain damage, if you know what I'm saying. But to circle back to what we were talking about, yeah, for so long he would just try and contact me, and we removed each other off socials and that, but he was still looking at every story that I posted and liking all of my fucking posts, and, like, we weren't following each other, so he was searching me up and still watching me from a distance, and then he'd randomly fucking text me and be like, come over, and then we'd get into a fucking argument, and then it would make me upset, and it was a cycle that kept going on and on and on, because then I'd block him, and then I'd miss him, and then I'd unblock him, and then that would happen. We'd get in a fucking argument because he wants me to come over, and then I just realized this guy obviously does not respect my feelings and my emotions, because he's just, like, fucking with me, right? Because if someone respected you, then they're not just going to keep coming back and just be like, you know, come over. Like, they've fucking hurt you and broken your heart into 1,000 pieces, and they just think it's okay to invite you over for a quickie. Like, so after that pattern kept going on, I was like, okay, we're stuck in a loop here, because it's never going to end the way that I want it to end. You know what I mean? Like, it's never going to end with us getting back together, or us talking again, or us being friends. It's never going to end like that. I realized it's just not going to happen. And I finally just, you know, made a promise to myself to block him and keep him blocked. You know, I don't think I'll ever unblock him, because I know it sucks, because when you spend so much time with someone, yeah, you get to know them very well and you miss them, and it's like, I still do now. I still think about it all the time. I, like, want to know what he's up to and what he's doing, because that's just, I think, the type of person that I am. But I think it's a very natural instinct to miss someone. But I think keep him blocked. Keep him blocked. You don't need to unblock him. You don't, because you don't want that. You don't want that happening to you, okay? You don't want that happening to you, because it fucking sucks. But yeah, relationships, they hurt and they suck, and breakups fucking suck. But I think it definitely, oh my god, it's me a huge lesson every time I go through a breakup, you know, especially that one. Like, that one was like, fuck. It's just like, you know, the biggest part of growing up and getting older is, you know, knowing this stuff now. And it's great, because now I know the next relationship I go into, like, what I'm looking for and what I'm not looking for, because in that relationship, or in relationships before that, I would just blatantly ignore red flags. Like, I'd know it's a red flag, or I'd see it and just fucking ignore it, because I just, like, you know, like, maybe I was just young and I didn't know, especially in that last relationship. Like, there was just fucking red flags flying everywhere, and I was just like, it's fine, it's cool, I can fix him. No, you really can't fix him, okay? Listen to Taylor Swift. You can't fix him, okay? Anyway, I'm in a fucking angsty mood. But yeah, circling back to that question, yes, you do need to forget him. I'm proud of you for blocking him, because you've obviously acknowledged that it ain't it, and keep him blocked. And yeah, you said that you need to forget him. Yeah, sure, but I don't think it's ever really gonna work that way. You know what I mean? I don't think you're ever gonna forget someone. That's just not how it goes. You know, as time goes on, obviously it hurts less, but you're never gonna forget someone that you love. Like, I I don't know, maybe it will, but I don't think so. Okay, so the next question is, girls, help me. I want to have like those aesthetic Instagram accounts with pretty pictures of me, but I'm not photogenic at all. I'm not ugly, but I'm just not photogenic, and I don't have anyone to take good pictures of me or help me with it. Okay, you've come to the right place. So having an aesthetic Instagram has always been like my favorite fucking hobby, you know. It's always been like my passion. Like I just love it, you know. I think that you could just start by taking pictures of just like, you know, things that you're doing, and like obviously when you go out and stuff, like just say, hey, can like you take this picture of me, and like, you know, you can edit it to make it cool and stuff like that. Because even now I still feel like I'm not photogenic. Like I've been posting like fucking Instagram pictures forever, and I still feel now like when someone shoves a camera in front of my face, I'm like a deer in headlights, like every time. I'm like, I have no idea how to fucking pose it. All of them I always look like a dork in every single pic, but there's always one picture that looks good. So my advice to you is just start. You know, just experiment with what's good for you, and get yourself a fucking tripod. You don't need people to take photos for you when you have a tripod. That's your own little best friend that loves to take photos of you. Like, I'm not kidding. So yeah, my advice is to just start and experiment, and like look on Pinterest, you know, get some ideas, fuck around with editing, fuck around with different styles and stuff, and then you get pictures of yourself. You get like, you know, you can start with selfies and edit them really cool. You could start with, I don't know, setting up a tripod and stuff, you know. There's a lot of inspo out there. But once you start, it'll all just flow into place, and you'll get really good at it, and you'll get more photogenic, or you won't, like me, but like, you know, that's just me though, so it's fine. So yeah, just start, and Pinterest is your best friend every single time. And also on Instagram, like I follow a lot of girls that I get a lot of inspiration from, you know, like a lot of girls that are sort of doing the same content as me. I follow them, and we sort of, I don't know, I just feel like we bounce off each other a little bit, because like, you know, I get some ideas from them and they might get ideas from me and stuff like that. So I think it's just like, yeah, just like get out there, just try and just, follow some of those other girls that are fucking killing it, and just like not copy them, but be inspired by them, you know, sort of just like watch what they're doing and then be like, I could do that. And it's just, remember to have fun, you know. I wish that Instagram was still like the old Instagram, where like, you know, it was all just photos. Like people would just like post like random photos. Like I'm talking about like early Insta days, like when you couldn't even like DM people, it was just photos. Like I miss that, because people were so fun and creative with it. Like they didn't give a fuck what they posted. Everyone was just posting like cool stuff, you know, at parties and out and whatever they were doing, and that was so fun. And now everyone's so too scared to post, and I don't post anything anymore, and it makes me sad, because like I post like crazy. Okay, I post like crazy on Instagram, and it's not for anyone else. It's literally just because I love posting. Like to me, my Instagram is like a digital scrapbook. You know, it's like all of the things that I'm doing in one place. Like I open my phone, and it's just like, you know, all of these memories and moments in time, all just there. You know, I think that's sick, and that's what I think Instagram is actually designed for. You know, obviously now it's social media, so we're connecting with other people on there through other medias, not just photos, but like with videos and messages and stories and shit like that. But I don't know, just fucking have fun with it. Post whatever you want, don't care about other people. Remember, we're not comparing ourselves to other people anymore. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. So you just do you just start and you try, and it'll all just flow together, and you'll get the hang of it, and you'll fucking, you know, you'll find your position in the creative space. Okay, so the next one is, guys, I need your advice for me. I have a boyfriend, and I found out that he cheated on me 3 times with girls. And yesterday I saw his likes history on TikTok, and he said to me that it was by mistake. But I didn't believe him. He liked so many videos of girls, and they were dancing. I argue with him. I know I should block him, but I can't, because I love him. So just tell me what to do so he will never see a girl or think to see a girl again. I first saw this one, when I screenshotted it, I was kind of confused, because like the first half is like, you know, I want to block him and get rid of him. And then she's like, oh, I don't want him to see a girl ever again. So I'm just going to interpret this the way that I think that you've meant it because there's a lot going on there. So, first of all, if a man cheats, get the fuck out of there. Bye. See you. Like, that's full stop. That should be my only answer, right? If a guy cheats, you said you just cheated 3 times. Like, fuck him off. Like, goodbye, sir. See you fucking later. We don't need you in here anymore. Like, that should be full stop. Obviously, it's harder because you love him, and as I was saying before, like with my relationship, it can just be like so hard to let go of someone because it's, because you love them and you care for them, and that's just natural human nature. But here, I think you just tell him that you're done and you know that he's cheating on you and you've had enough of it, and block him. Don't talk to him again, And the last part, you're saying, I love him, so just tell me what to do so he'll never see. I don't know if you were saying that you intend on staying with this guy and trying to get him to not cheat or not watch videos anymore. At the end of the day, I think you have to understand that you can't change people. You know what I mean? You can't change people. You can't control what people do. If he's going to do that, he's going to do that, and he's going to keep doing it. And if you get on his ass about it and tell him to stop, he's not going to stop. He's just going to keep doing it, and he's going to get sneakier about it. So that's why my flat out full stop opinion on that is fuck him off right now. And I know it's so hard, and I know that like my opinion can be like very aggressive. It can be hard because it might be your first relationship, must be like your first proper relationship. But what I've learned with relationship, what I've learned with guys, like it's just there's no point. There's no point in fucking sticking around if they're behaving like that, because you deserve more than that. You deserve so much more than that, and like you don't need to stay in a place just for the sake of staying in a place. You know what I mean? You don't need to stay in that relationship for the sake of because you love him or for the sake of being in a relationship. You can get the fuck out, because your love that you give yourself is means more than anything that you can get from anyone else. You know what I mean? So yeah, my opinion and my advice would just be to tell him to get lost. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is how to fight against my own doubts. I graduated 2 months ago, although I don't have my title yet, but I guess I could get a job, like an internship. Meanwhile, to gain some experience on my field, but I can't help but feel that I'm not capable enough. I've never really connected with the career I chose, but a lack of support caused me to just stick with it, and now I don't know what to do with my life, to be honest. I feel like I don't know anything, and I feel stuck. So this kind of correlates and circles back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the podcast, about feeling like you're kind of stuck where you are and don't know where you're going. My personal advice, I'm going to be very, very, very honest with you here for a second. I think that you should not be doing something that you don't want to be doing. You know what I mean? I think that you should be passionate and excited about what you're doing, especially for a career. A job is different. A job is a job, but a career, like that is a lot of time and effort and energy that you're putting into a career. And if you're not wanting that, you're hurting your future self. You're hurting your potential from that, because I feel like, I know it's hard because a lot of people don't really know like what they want to do, and I fucking totally get that. Like, life can just be like, whoa, like one big head spin, like, bruh, I don't know what I'm doing. And obviously it's easier said than done to just like drop it and go do something else, because obviously this life is a little bit trickier than that. But I do think my personal opinion would be to maybe have a little bit of a think about where you see yourself. Do you see yourself in this job? Is there something that you actually want to stick out? Because to me it sounds like you just chose it because you didn't really know what else to choose, and that's fine. But yeah, I don't know, I think that this is a very exciting time in your life, and I said this in the last podcast because there was another question sort of like this. When you're leaving school and you're like freshly an adult, like it's so overwhelming because it's like, well, do I go to uni? Like, do I have a gap year? Like, what do I want to do? There's so many fucking options. And I think that for you personally, the whole world at your fingertips, like, this is such an exciting moment. You already graduated uni, but yeah, I think that's something that you might just have to think about. Like, maybe you want to go back to uni and go do something else. Maybe you want to actually do this job for a little bit. It's very normal to feel stuck and lost. Like, it's so normal. We all feel like that when we're starting something new. So I think that might just be something that you need to think about and reflect on, and whether, like, if this isn't what is meant for you anymore, then you can step into something else and take a step back and go do something else. Your life is your choice. This is a path that you're choosing to take. So you are in the driving seat. As I always say, you are in the driving seat. You're behind the wheel. You choose your destiny. Don't listen to anyone else. We're not comparing to anyone else, remember? Okay? No, none of that. None of that. Okay? Okay, so this is the last question for the day. So, I have terrible luck with men. Girl, same. Recently, I told a guy I had a thing for him, found him attractive, blah, 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 and he rejected me. But we're still really good friends, and even though I'm now helping him flirt, get ready for dates with other girls, and trying to be a good friend, I can't seem to lose feelings for him. In fact, I think I find him 10 times more attractive than before we were close. What do? I don't want to ruin our friendship by backing away from him, but I can't just keep going along like this when I know he's friend-zoned me. Okay, so I'm going to be brutally honest with you for a second. So this guy's told you that he's not interested in you. He's friend-zoned you. And yeah, you can still be friends with him. You can still, you might have a really good friend in the future. I think, though, if you are still having all of these feelings, now you said you feel like you're 10 times more attracted to him than you ever have been, I don't think that's going to go away. So I think that you could just take a step back for a while, just distance yourself from him, not be as close to him for a while, and you can definitely come back and be friends after that, because you're just going to hurt yourself, because remember, you're trying to spare his feelings, and I think that you need to remember your own. You don't want to keep hurting yourself. You don't want to. I know that you don't want to lose him because you do like him so much and you do want to be his friend, but sometimes it's just harder to do that. And remember, there are plenty of guys out there, plenty of guys and people out there that you're going to meet along the way. It's just very natural. People always convince themselves that they're never going to meet someone, but you just do. It just happens. Like, people just show up. It paths cross all the time. It just happens. So I think for you, it's just maybe take a step back, just, go meet other people, go do other things for a while, and then, come back and you can be friends, because it seems like he's not interested in you, and I know, I'm so sorry, it's so sad, I don't want to say it like that, but yeah, it sounds like he is interested in other girls, and he might just see you as a friend, which is normal, and it happens. It's totally so fucking normal. Like, I have been there, done that 1,000 fucking times, where I've been interested in a guy not interested in me back, and yeah, it's just how it goes. But that is life, unfortunately. But it doesn't mean that that's the end of the road, though, or end of the world. It means that, yeah, he might just be a good friend, and the person that is meant for you will show up eventually. You know what I mean? I never see it as like a dead end, like, oh, like my life's over, like this guy doesn't like me back, because it's like, well, maybe we got together and we just figured out that it just wasn't going to work. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it just doesn't work. Just because you do like someone doesn't mean it's going to work in a relationship. Relationships are fucking hard, So yeah, my advice for you is to maybe take a break for a bit, and then you can come back and be mates, and you can go find your dream guy that's waiting out there for you. Anyway, we are coming towards the end of the episode. Sorry, it was a quick one today. I have other places that I need to be. My brain is in literally 1,000 different places right now. I'm not here. I'm not existent. But thank you so much for being here. As always, I appreciate you so fucking much, like more than you'll ever know. Like the podcast, like screaming, crying, throwing up, crying in the club. Like, that's how I feel, because the feedback that I'm getting back from you guys, seeing the videos and that is just, it's insane. And I can't tell you like how much I appreciate you. So thank you so much for being here, as fucking always. And yeah, keep in contact with me. My Instagram is all linked below. You can come over to Instagram and yeah, chit chat, hang out, So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next Wednesday as usual. Thank you guys. Stay well, behave, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye.